Yeah, hey, it's first game of conference play. Hats off to JMU. Mark's doing a good job. Obviously, the two big differences in the game, two big keys for us in our scouting report was obviously one, Matt Lewis. He's the preseason player of the year in the league, and he just destroyed us. Hard to beat any team when a guy gets 30. We wanted to keep him off the foul line, which we did, but then obviously he got it going, and we didn't do a good job of running him off the line. And then our other big key coming in was we just couldn't commit live ball turnovers, which we did. So hats off to them. Thought our guys played hard. We've obviously got a lot of work to do and quick turnaround, but they were sharp, and Matt Lewis was absolutely sensational. He looked like an NBA player today. He very well might be too. So there's been a lot of them out of this league. I see no reason why he couldn't be one.
Coach, this was your first game since December 26th, kind of in a pause after a couple of positive tests. What did you kind of think about getting back to practice and then getting back on the court the first time in a couple of weeks?
Well, our guys appreciate the opportunity to play again. I mean, this is our third game in 50 days in our 12th practice. That's not necessarily a great formula to get rhythm, we've learned, but this is a different year, and we got to try to get better, and then hopefully test negative so that we can get in rhythm. We're going to try to play a lot of games as quickly as possible, but like I said, this is here to the end of the season for us, and we just we got to try to deal with it.
I'll open up to members of the media. Please unmute yourself on Zoom, and then you can ask questions here. Sorry, Mr. Guest, I don't believe we're hearing you. 1 second. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, Coach, when you mentioned with Matt Lewis having that kind of NBA potential, what about his game most in particular kind of stands out to you?
Well, I mean, obviously the way he shot the ball. I mean, 9 threes in a college basketball game. I mean, we're usually, and I think we will be, a good defensive team, but I mean, he just rose up and stuck shot after shot. Obviously as a coach, you're going to get on your guys about running them off the line and contesting better, but the guy still has to make the shot, and he made 9 of them, and like I said, he was absolutely sensational. You make shots like that, you make a lot of money.
Anyone have any questions for Coach Skerry?
That's Big Dave Driver right there. It's always good to see Dave Driver, man. He's got his USBWA mask on.
One of my colleagues is trying to ask you a question, but I don't know if you can hear him.
I can't.
Well, I'll go ahead, Pat. Obviously everybody knows about Matt Lewis. What about the other players that stepped up for them offensively in the second half?
I thought Hodge. Obviously, Hodge had a couple. I really like Amadi. He's a terrific freshman player. And Morse obviously had a big night. Made a lot of foul shots late. We're trying to foul. I'd like to cut the 30 in half, Dave, and if we couldn't go from there, I think it's a little bit different, But like I said, a guy hangs 30 on you, it should be hard to win.
Great, thank you, Coach.
Hey, and Dave, we trust. All others pay cash.
Pat, this is Matt.
Yeah.
Any official word on Zane?
No, it's personal, and at this point, that's all it is. I would never talk about something personal with any of our guys, but we had to adjust on the fly, and
Any status for next game?
No, only because it's a personal issue, and I don't quite know yet.
Turnovers were obviously a problem again today. Is that just a matter of so many different combinations and so little practice?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, yeah, it is, but like I usually don't talk much to our guys after the game. I said, yeah, I get all that stuff. I still think we're capable of executing better. So, yeah, we haven't practiced much, all that good stuff. It's good to get Gibson back out there, Matt. Yesterday was his first practice since November 27th. when we played. So he'll get his legs back and under him and all that. But we have a high standard for our group, so we're not really looking to rely on how many practices or games we've had. When the ball goes up, we've got to adjust and get better. And like I told these guys, you're going to play another good team on Monday, and if the kid Sims, hangs 30 points and we commit 19 turnovers, then, we're either not quite committed to having success or we're not good enough, But so that's the fun part about this is how do we go back, get better, right? And we got to win every game, but we got to make sure we get better, and hopefully we get enough guys on the floor and get them healthy and get them back so that we can eventually maybe put the whole thing together.
Statistically, you played much better defense in the second half, but it seemed like you gave away a lot of offensive rebounds, 5 or 6, I think, in that second half.
Yeah, right now, one of those groups, right, you get it to 6 or 7 a couple times, and then you give up an offensive rebound, and we had a good effort on the glass, +9 is good, but untimely ones, and then a couple untimely turnovers, and, and then obviously Lewis made us pay a couple times, so, we're not there yet, but I mean, they've got a good club, but like I said, he was a major difference maker.